You know what we're going to do right now, Donald? We're going to bring in Rick Nash.
There you go.
Rick, it's Michael and Don. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. What did it mean to win that series against Montreal?
Yeah, it was a huge win. I feel like we were obviously the wild card position, and everyone kind of touted us as the underdog going in, and we embraced that situation and had a good series.
Did you learn anything about yourself in that series?
Well, I think no, everyone kind of pegged us as a speed team, and we couldn't play a physical style. I think we proved that. Montreal was a big team with some big defensemen and big physical forwards, and we held our own.
It's interesting. I asked Henrik Lundqvist this yesterday on the show, so I'll ask you. After you lost Game 3 and the way you guys lost Game 3, did you sincerely believe you had a good chance to win the series, or did you think that something was going to have to change?
Well, I think there's probably only about 40 to 60 people that believed we had a chance to win that series, and that was the people that were in the dressing room and around the organization. Obviously, all the other outside noise kind of, threw our home record out there from the season, our struggles at home, and that kind of snowball effect after Game 3. And it wasn't our best performance, but I think Game 4, the leaders stepped up, and then, home ice was rocking after that, especially in Game 6.
Yeah, you seem to put that to bed with the victories that you had at home, the back-to-back wins at Madison Square Garden, Rick. But did it ever creep into the room? Was there any thought, what's going on here at Madison Square Garden? 21-16-4 in the regular season, 6 straight losses in the playoffs at the Garden. Was it something you felt like you had to go out there and slay?
Well, when you talk about it after every loss, it obviously is in the room, right? And it becomes mental. But we talked about it as a group, and it was one of our keys going into the playoffs that we were gonna write it off and have a clean slate. So when everyone brought up the 0-6 or 0-7, whatever it was after Game 3, we looked at it as 0-1 for the playoffs. We wanted to refresh everything coming into this playoff series and this round. So after getting that huge win in Game 4 and coming back in Game 6, I think we have some momentum at home now.
Tell me about Zuccarello and what he means to this team. I mean, he just doesn't seem like a guy who should be as great as he is just from stature. And, boy, he had a great Game 6.
Yeah, he had an unbelievable, especially Game 6. It's been fun to watch for me over my last 5 years in New York to kind of watch him grow as a younger player that, just had to worry about his own game on the ice, turn into this leader that he is on the ice and off the ice, and how well respected he is in the dressing room. It's been fun to watch, and if you you see this trend that the NHL is going in with guys like Crosby that aren't the big huge power forwards. It's the small fast guys, and Zuccarello fits right into that, and that's why he's a star in this league.
Now, Rick, nobody is going to confuse Max Pacioretty with Ty Domi, but to have Jimmy Vesey, get into a fight with Max Pacioretty, he's a kid, he's experiencing the playoffs for the first time. I mean, what did that mean to that room for him to be able to stand up like that?
Yeah, that was great, and I mean, for him to step in and to drop the gloves was unbelievable. And then to have the Garden chant his name. And there's only a few guys that happens to for good reason, more guys for bad reason. But, you can't say enough about Jimmy's game right now. I've been lucky enough to play with him on a line, and he's really brought his game to the next level in these playoffs and showed why he was such a, highly ranked guy that every team wanted.
Rick Nash is our guest here. The Rangers begin their second-round series against Ottawa on Thursday right here on ESPN 98.7. Our coverage starts at 6:30. Rick, was there a concern, and after the series I read that a lot of the Rangers said how physical this series was. Was there a concern that Montreal was going to be too physical for this team?
Oh, yeah, you know what? It was a battle. You're going up against guys like Emelin and Markov and Shea Weber. It was a tough series, and I think people touted us as the underdog because of that reason. People didn't think we could play physical. If you look at the the amount of hits that were thrown to that series, it shows that we can kind of mold into whatever situation the game brings us, and that's what good teams do.
All right, power play. AV said you were getting really good looks, even though you weren't cashing in. Then you finally cash in Game 6. So do you feel good about this man advantage going up against Ottawa?
Well, we have to stay positive. We got we always have a good game plan. It's your best players on the ice that have to produce once once you're out there, it's amazing how special teams, if you win the special teams battle, I mean, the percentage of you winning the game is sky high. And it showed in Game 3. It showed in Game 6 again. If you can get a power play goal, it's going to be a difference maker, and we have to stay positive and figure it out moving forward.
What does it mean for this team to have Lundqvist back there? It almost serves as the great eraser for any mistake that somebody might make. Is it a real comfort level for every player on that team?
For sure. He's one of the best goalies in the world. And his confidence kind of floats through the team. It starts with him. He's our leader. He's our best player. And when he plays at his top level, it flows to our defensemen, which flows to our forwards. And, although you don't want to make too many mistakes, but it's the reality that mistakes are going to happen in a game. And when you can bail each other out, that's what makes a team good.
All right, let's throw out the last meeting against Ottawa because 6 regulars didn't play in that second-to-last game of the year, and you haven't played them since the 2016 portion of the calendar. So what can you take from those 2 meetings at the Garden earlier in the year and apply to the series against Ottawa now?
Well, there's a team. They're a team that's going to sit in the trap. That's kind of what they're known for. Their coach is known for their style. They're going to sit in the neutral zone trap and kind of wait for us to make a mistake and kind of jump all over that. So we're going to have to use our speed. We're going to have to try to get through the neutral zone and make them work in their own end. But it's going to be a fast and it's going to be a quick series, and it's going to be the team that can make the least amount of mistakes that's going to have the best chance.
Can you guys dream big that you got past a tough opponent? Ottawa, a lot of people are saying that you're the favorites in this series, and then you get the winner of Pittsburgh or Washington, whichever team wins. Do you dream that big, or do you say, hey, let's just take Thursday and go from there?
Well, yeah, we talked about that at the rink today, and Ottawa's been through a lot this year. They've had a lot of injuries. I think they're a lot of better team than people might think, and they have a good coach, and they all play the same system, which shows you can have any players on the ice you want. If you're all playing sync in the right system, you're going to have a chance to win. They still have their home ice. I still think that, although some people might say we're the favorites, I still think people didn't even think we would make the playoffs this year, and now we're making some noise. So I think we just got to worry about Ottawa and take it game by game.
Rick, you mentioned breaking the trap. For you, is that just a good outlet pass out of the zone, or is that finding some skill through the neutral zone? How do you get in your own zone to get through all that muck that they're going to throw in the neutral zone?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's muck, and you hit both points. As we talked about today, when the play is there, it has to be made. If it's a skill play or a bank pass, and then once they do trap and that D-man steps up or the center steps up, that's when you got to know you have to chip it in and get on the forecheck. So it's a fine combination of making a play when it's there and when it's not there, just getting on the forecheck.
All right, Rick, thank you so much for this time, and good luck against the Ottawa Senators.
All right, appreciate it. Take care, guys. Thanks.